This might be one of the most underrated tuner cars on the market right now, and I don't think anybody's really talking about it. And after daily driving this Alfa Romeo Giulia for a couple of months now, I think I know why. And today, I'm gonna make it even better. Welcome to Boostin' Friends. About 3 months ago, I bought this car as my daily driver. And you can find my initial reaction video right here. I'm gonna be honest with you, over the years, Alfa Romeo has gotten a pretty bad reputation for reliability. But I'm gonna explain the truth about this car. And if I'm right, this might be one of the best deals out there right now, not only for people who are looking for a solid daily driver, but also enthusiasts and tuners as well. You see, the first version of this Giulia came out in 2016. And when it did, the first couple years were plagued with electrical issues. And this was essentially because Alfa Romeo put an electrical and charging system in this car that couldn't quite keep up with all of the software and technology that it was trying to provide to their customers. And this created a lot of problems with the car. You'd get a lot of funny lights, a bunch of electrical issues, stuff that people don't really want to deal with in a newer car. And that happened for a while. The first couple years of this generation of the Giulia wasn't great. But over the years, Alfa Romeo learned this, and they slowly gave the car a better electrical system while making improvements to all the software on the car that pretty much got rid of all of those problems. I say pretty much just to cover myself. Because you never know. And it does have auto start stop, which I do not like. And because of all these early issues, the resale value of this car plummeted. Nobody really wanted to buy a car that had a whole bunch of issues. And even after all of the issues had been resolved, the resale value stayed down. And what we've ended up with is a really good bang for your buck. Because people still think that these cars are unreliable. But the reality is, the newer ones are pretty solid. That's exactly why they're still so cheap. And let me tell you why I think that this car is actually underrated. This version of the car is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that is built on Stellantis' GME platform, or Global Medium Engine, which means that this engine is shared with multiple platforms that Stellantis make, including things like the Jeep Compass and the Jeep Wrangler, which means there's plenty of them out there. You probably won't ever have a problem finding parts unless they're super specific to this version of the engine. That also means that this engine has been out there. It's got a couple of years under its belt, and people know how to fix the things that do go wrong, and they have that knowledge sort of already built up. So it's not really a mystery for potential problems or solutions to those problems. But the even bigger selling point, and why I think this is such a good tuner car, is the transmission. The transmission that comes in the Giulias is the ZF HP8. And you may have heard that name lately because this transmission is impressive. It comes in everything from Hellcats to Supras, and it is tunable, and it can handle a lot of power. It shifts quick, and it is a lot of fun for an automatic. And because it's in so many popular platforms, it has also proven itself time and time again, so much so that it's become an insanely popular swap for older manual cars. Plus, it's got these sick little paddle shifters. And you can get this car in both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. This version is all-wheel drive. And the all-wheel drive version is basically rear-wheel drive all the time, except for when it needs to use the front tires, which is nice. Makes it feel a little bit more sporty. As far as this car goes for being a daily driver, I gotta say, it's really good. Insanely comfortable. It rides very smooth. And what I think is probably the most important part of a daily driver, the interior, it's where you're going to spend a lot of your time. The Italian interior just hits a little different. Everything is so nice. And even on this particular one, which just rolled over 90,000 miles, everything's in really good shape. And a lot of interiors, you get a lot of buttons that wear out when you push them too much, or leather that starts to discolor or flake or crack. None of that in here. I think the interior of this car is a huge selling point. It's very nice in here. You don't exactly really get bored in here. The paddle shifters kind of make it fun. The car's pretty peppy. It's got good torque, good power delivery thanks to the turbo. Even for me, when I come from the other cars on the channel, a little bit higher horsepower stuff. This car is still a ton of fun to drive, but the car isn't just a fun car. It actually is a really good daily. And because this is such a well-rounded daily, but I also think that it would be a really fun tuner car, you know what I had to do. You know I had to modify it. Can't leave anything alone.
No, why would
Yep, it's exactly what this car needed. I'm just an enthusiast at heart, and I do enjoy the older cars. They feel a little bit more raw. It's what makes them unique. And this car at times seemed maybe a little too refined for me, because on the inside, I'm just an immature little boy that wants to make vroom vroom noises when I drive around. And this little bit of noise, when you hit the throttle, it's exactly what this car needed. Now this exhaust isn't going to add a ton of power. We can maybe work on that a little bit later. But it does make the driving experience just a little bit more fun. And that's exactly why I think that this car is so underrated. It's already so fun to drive, and with just a few small tweaks, it's even better. And make sure you're subscribed for future updates and future installs, because we're definitely not stopping at just exhaust. See ya!